Hello everyone, and I'm the writer, and we've got review videos from Marvel. We have Hawkeye, Spider-Man 3, and the Eternals. This one took a while because I didn't see Eternals when it came out in theaters. I was just busy at the time. And now I have that chance with Disney Plus, which helped a lot. And I also wanted to wait till after Christmas break because it got pretty chaotic where I was at. I'm pretty sure you all had a very fun Christmas and New Year's break, and I'm grateful you did. Anyway, we'll be focusing on storytelling style, the good, the bad, and for each of the films, and we will also have just a little bit of a theory and discussion of what's coming next. This will have spoilers because these were pretty good films. Well, some were, some weren't. So if you don't want any spoilers, do not look. As for the rest of us, let's enjoy. The storytelling. Okay, I'm a huge Hawkeye fan, and let me just say, I'm happy this is one of the few stories where he gets a happy ending. Don't get me wrong, I'm very happy with this. But he rarely gets a happy ending. That being said, I'm happy this is based off the comic lines My Life as a Weapon and Fractions Run. Episode 3 is literally one of the most iconic scenes from it. The storytelling is very good. It is simple and cutthroat, and I understand that people want a twist or complex storylines, but this was good as a more or less straightforward story. There was a bad guy, and they have to stop him as Hawkeye tries to make it for Christmas and protects the young rich girl. Not to mention, I love the trick arrows. That is just so good to see. We didn't see much of it in the movies to an extent, except maybe for the first Avengers movie. But it was so nice to see this expanded on. We even see how he makes it too. Clint picking up his work from where he last left off in Avengers Endgame, but I can't believe you left your suit and your wife's watch in the compounds of destroyed ruins. Good job. Regardless, he really is the heart of the Avengers team. This was mentioned in Avengers 2, but I like how they expanded upon this a lot. He is a father who wants the best for his kids and will help anyone who's in danger. He does this and still maintains a good relationship with his wife and family. He even forms a good friendship with the LARPs and the cops, even showing his deep friendship with Scott Lang a few times, and even convincing Echo not to fight it as a weapon for a criminal tyrant. I do love his character still, and I do enjoy that they did a fantastic job showing off who he really is in the storyline. I actually like how Kate is written this. Compared to the comics, I did enjoy her, but she did feel like a Mary Sue and annoyance at times. Here, she does learn her lesson and understood what it really means for a person to be an Avenger, which makes sense for her because she'll become the leader of the Avengers, assuming we're going down that comic line. She learns from everyone, too. She's going to be a good protagonist, I'm feeling. She has a lot to learn still, but she is trying. I also love how Hawkeye tries to teach her his tricks and works. She is, and this is the main reason I also like her, is her relationship with Yelena. I firmly see this too as the next generation Hawkeye Black Widow. You can't tell me that is not how Clint and Natasha behaved when they first met. Also, I'm very pleased with how Yelena's written in this. I thought she was going to be a villain, similar to that of her comic book line, but they didn't do that, and I'm grateful that she didn't kill Hawkeye. The style. This really did adopt the comic book's looks for a lot of it, from the costumes to the action scenes and even the locations and humor. I love the humor in this one particularly. Clint's sass and Kate's too much energetic personality really drive this home. I love how she tries to be helpful and kind of falls apart at times, but it works in other times. I also love how it's a Christmas special too. I think it works well as one. Sure, it has the Marvel moments, but it does have that Christmas moments too. It just works pretty well. The good. I'm just very pleased with the return of Kingpin. That's incredible that they got the original actors to reprise their role from the Marvel Netflix TV series that not many people got access to at the time, but I think they're getting more popular now because this guy and Daredevil appears in Spider-Man 3. And to be honest, most of the cast chosen for Marvel movies is always just great. They never get that wrong. Echo is a fantastic actress, and her whole story is very good. I love that she is getting her own Disney Plus show. She definitely deserves her own show. I do love Yelena, as I mentioned earlier, than I did in the Black Widow movie. I was going to be upset if she actually did kill Clint or didn't get that resolved, but I'm grateful that she did get it resolved. I mean, I knew there was going to be a fight, but I do love her relationship with Kate and how she does not kill Clint Barton. You cannot tell me that those who are not going to be new Hawkeye and Black Widow, they just aren't. That's just how this is going to go. The bad. I didn't enjoy the musical nonsense. I get it, they can do this now, but really? Actually, this goes for the rest of the other stuff too that I've noticed. Why does Captain America get a lot of recognition? No, I'm not counting Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is now Captain America and the Winter Soldier, but Steve Rogers gets a musical and a freaking statue. Iron Man and Black Widow actually died for the world. So far, Black Widow got a tombstone and Iron Man got that fancy funeral, which, to be frank, was a nice tribute to Robert Downey Jr. because he did kick off the MCU. But why don't they get statues? This is just petty, but I'm pointing this out. I don't care. Spider-Man 3, the story. So nostalgia hit us all like a truck, and this was a real treat for Spider-Man fans. I like the story a lot. This is the best way to end his trilogy and then start the next one. It is sad, but that's fine. Most Marvel films are happy, so this one being a little bit sad is okay. Something bad was bound to happen anyway to him. It's the Peter Parker curse. Though this story of both the first trilogy of Spider-Man films we got, being the actor Tobey Maguire, and The Amazing Spider-Man, which is Andrew Garfield, also ties in pretty well, especially for The Amazing Spider-Man, because those films were unfortunately cut short due to the Marvel-Sony deal that happened, and I'm pretty happy that Andrew got to finish his character. I was really sad he didn't get to finish his trilogy, so this was a very nice way for him to finish up his character and send him off. As for Tobey, to me, that's a real treat personally, because I grew up with that version of Spider-Man as a kid. I really like that he's also the big brother figure to the both of them, considering he was the first live-action Spider-Man to debut. He basically walked so Tom could run. I do love how both taught Tom Spider-Man what to do and how to help him. I also love how they have this kind of brotherhood as well. I love how all three of them know that there are others who got to go through this experience together and they're not alone. Don't worry, we'll talk about this way more in my theory portion of the video, but I think there's something more to this than we got. The style. The colors are amazing in this one. Honestly, I love how all three Spider-Man are wearing their respective costumes from their movies. I'm also surprised with how well they de-aged some of the cast. I love Electro's change in the design personally. They kept the creepy elements for Green Goblin, which I appreciate a lot. I really do love how they kept certain costumes and designs from each respective universe. This film just has amazing scenes too and settings. I don't think any place wasn't in the wrong matter. Like, everything was used perfectly. Also, and just a happy note for me, but Ned is Filipino! When his aunt spoke Tagalog and Andrew called him Lola, I was so happy. My mother was too, and even translated what he was saying before he'd eat it, and it's just a little nice nod in my opinion, so chef's kiss to Marvel for that. You are really making me harder for me to leave, it feels. The good. They got everyone to come back to do this. That's amazing. I do like how all three Spider-Man were present in something that I didn't think could be possible. This is just amazing. Not to mention, yes, this is a sense of fan service for those who love Spider-Man and have seen those movies, and it's nice to see all of them return for their proper roles. I will be honest, everyone is well casted and came back. Yes, I was happy with the pumpkin bombs and loved seeing Electro back, not to mention their humor too. It reflects their humor from other time periods too, at least that's what it felt like. Honestly, this pays off very well from the build-up from the previous Spider-Man movies too. I also like that it's both sad and hopeful. Yes, Tom Spider-Man lost his aunt, probably his only family, his girlfriend, and his best friend, but who knows? Maybe they will meet again and create a film about that as well. If not, that's also fine. It is difficult to pay these actors and actresses, but who really knows? I don't think this memory wipe thing will be permanent, but it's going to at least last a long time. I do wonder who might be the next MCU Spider-Man. I know there are talks of Miles Morales joining, which I would love to see, but I do think it is early. Tom still has 3 films, and I wouldn't be surprised if he has side projects with it as well, but it will be interesting to see who might be the next Spider-Man, or if he gets to live with his friends and family in peace. They have a lot of options, to say the least. The bad. My only complaint with this movie is Venom. Venom doesn't really make sense. Don't get me wrong, Venom is a great film, but why is it this Venom? He didn't get to fight a Spider-Man. In fact, I don't think he has a Spider-Man in his universe. That doesn't make any sense. Also, I wonder if this is because Venom, the movie, did well and they wanted to cash in on this, which isn't a bad idea, but why? Also, unless they're going with the hive mind where basically Venom can connect to any other Venoms in the multiverse, which I guess makes sense, I'm just a little disappointed that they didn't get to use the character. He was just there. That's it. Yes, a piece of Venom is now in the MCU, but I wish he could have just fought a Spider-Man. I hope we get to see more of him, and we probably will, let's be honest. Those Venom movies do really well with people, apparently. Okay, so I normally have like a theory video, or I just make a video, but bear in mind, this is just gonna be really quick, more or less. So, I have a theory, or just an idea for Spider-Man in general. We all remember the earth-shattering moment when the Sony Marvel deal fell through, and I believe it took drunk Tom Holland to get his role back. But I wonder if there's more of this than we think. I do believe that Venom is going to fight Tom's Spider-Man at one point. I cannot imagine how they won't have a fight. Also, if this is a test to see if fans want more of this, that's clever. It is just a post-credit scene, so it is easy to film and miss. No, this doesn't mean I don't want Venom, but I'm saying if a lot of fans like this, then we can have Venom fight Tom's Spider-Man. There was a moment in the first animated Spider-Verse film where Tom was gonna cameo, but he couldn't due to filming issues. I have a feeling he, Andrew, and Toby will appear in the next one since it's a two-part sequel. I wouldn't be surprised if that's why this deal is a part of it. There are rumors of Andrew and Toby returning to do more stuff, which is huge. I think that's a great idea. There was supposed to be a fourth movie for Toby and a third one for Andrew. If this is the case, I would be all for it. Also, the success of What If, WandaVision, Loki, and now this, alternate dimension stuff should be an okay thing to explore in other films, and using Andrew and Toby to do this is smart. Meanwhile, Tom has 3 movies and a Disney Plus animated sequel, or, well, it's like a prequel, but yeah. Aaron Taylor is confirmed to be Kraven the Hunter, another antagonist for Tom, which is strange that they got him back to do this and not Quicksilver. No, I will not let this go, I do not care. So, I think this will include more and more Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse. I could see all 3 live-action Spider-Mans reprising their roles for this, and we're already getting 2099, and I believe the one from the original cartoons as well. Again, this is animated. The Disney Plus show is also animated. What if they're using the same animators? Okay, that's just literally a stretch, but I can see it happening. Of course, it's just an idea. I don't know if this is going to happen or not, but if it would be nice to see, that's all I'm saying. Now we're on the Eternals. The story. The story is very long and kind of drawn out. It jumps a lot from the past to the present day. There are so many scenes and characters as well. Now, I will say this now, but I love this cast. One of the best casts in the MCU. However, there is a huge difference between why the Guardians of the Galaxy are better developed as opposed to the Eternals. The Guardians only had 5 members and were developed very well throughout their film. The Eternals has about 10 main characters and are supposed to be well developed with a span of 2 hours and 45 minutes. I also think the constant change to the past and the present is kind of confusing and not well thought out. It would have been better if we had a movie about their past and then another movie about the current situation of the emergence. The story is just messy. It needs to be reorganized to be better. The style. This is a very aesthetically pleasing movie. Every shot is beautiful in some form or another. I love the glow effects of their powers, and their costumes look amazing. I love the scenes and locations they picked for this. You can tell they did their homework with their historical locations and even the language. I also love how the Eternals have gone from their separate ways and lived different locations. Everyone has a unique style and flavor to the team. Kingo and Makari are very perfect examples of this too. I also love the Bollywood scene and seeing Makari running around using her sign language so easily. Also, a speed star! Please don't die or get kicked out of the universe. She's amazing! I love Thena too and Gilgamesh. Oh my god, I love their dynamic so much. So if I'm losing my mind and had a partner who was willing to spend their life with me and love me, I'm marrying you. That is amazing. Again, this film is beautiful to see. It works so well together with their cast. I love the history in this too. It's just so nice to see. The good. Almost all Marvel movies never get this wrong, and that is the casting. This is such a diverse and well-casted group. I love everything about it. It's a huge step in the right direction for the MCU. The MCU is one of the most influential movies that can impact a new generation of viewers. I like this cast and it's very nice too. I want more of Kingo and Makari and Grug. Those characters are definitely the highlight of the film for me, as well as Thanatos and his family. God, that's such a cute little family. I would be fine if we took a film or a Disney Plus show about these characters. They could either star in one or share one. I think it could work, and I do love how most of my favorites just went off into space too. Just cherry on top. I love the different time periods we get to see along with their reactions to it. Grug wanting to interfere but doesn't because humans are unique and interesting beings. This movie does an excellent job of showing both the good and bad sides of humanity. Yes, humans suck at times, but humans also have their best moments as well. I wish we had to see more of that, but oh well. The bad. Okay, so this would get some people upset, but the story is definitely the part that hit the movie the hard. Don't get me wrong, this is a good movie, but it's too long and too much. This would have been better if it was 2 movies. One to focus on their perspective of the changing world and helping out humans. Then the second one could be about the emergence. I compare this to Batman v Superman. That movie has a lot of stuff in it, but it was way too long and rushed through a lot of material. The Eternals fell into that trap. Another issue I have is that this is mostly due to it being me being more reserved than others, but okay, to be clear, most Marvel films are targeted to kids and sometimes regarded as family films. This is not the case for all of Marvel films because Netflix Defenders, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., as well as Deadpool do not have that. Those have ratings and clearly state that they are going to show what they're going to show. Eternals does have a short sex scene, but I don't think this is okay to show in a media or with a rating like this. I don't think it was needed either, I just don't think it works in the media of the MCU. But I also feel that the romance isn't the strongest point either, at least not in this film. This was a good starting attempt with it, but it just wasn't a really compelling romantic story for the main couple either. I don't like the main couple's romantic relationship. It just didn't work. But I think Drug and Makari were the highlight, and Thanatos and his husband were definitely good. Heck, Gilgamesh and Thena were beautiful. I don't know, maybe it's just I didn't like Ceres with Icarus, but like, romance wasn't a strong point in this in the end. So what's coming next? We have a frick ton of Disney Plus shows. This one hinted more towards Blade. Wait, no, Blade's getting a movie. Sorry, okay, Blade's getting a movie. But they clearly hinted towards Blade having his debut, considering that Ceres' boyfriend is a descendant of the Black Knight, which is nice to see. The next film coming out is Doctor Strange 2, which makes sense, because Spider-Man 3 kind of linked that to it. I wonder if he, like, knows he broke the multiverse, or, like, he had a hand in it, and then was like, maybe I should go fix it. Maybe it'll help me remember this terrible feeling I have, like I ruined someone's life. Either way, we have that, then it's gonna be Thor, Guardians 3 more or less. Oh no, Guardians 3 got pushed back. I guess it's Black Panther? I don't know, we have a lot of stuff coming up, but we have a little bit of a break until then, which is nice. So in the end, Hawkeye is definitely a 5 out of 5. I'm just really happy with this one. It was wholesome and wonderful. Everyone did a good job in this one. Spider-Man 3, 5 out of 5. Seriously, this one doesn't need an explanation in my opinion. This was well done and wonderful fan service to everyone who loves Spider-Man. Eternals, I'm sorry, 3.5. This is a beautiful film, wonderfully casted, but the story really hurt this one. It just would have been better in 2 films. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to subscribe and like the video, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye!